Hi guys, this is Notable Needlework. I am Kate Notable Needle on Etsy, on Ravelry, on Plurk, and on Twitter. That's Notable, N-O-T-E-A-B-L-E. And the blog is at notableneedlework.blogspot.com if you're not already watching it there. I hope that everyone is having as good of a week as I am. This is take 2 because Susu is being incredibly needy and knocking into the camera, but I will try to have as much energy as I did first time because of this. You can't read it, but it is my acceptance letter to the UAB School of Nursing. Yes! I have been waiting so long to see that logo in the mail. So yes, I was accepted. Everyone on Plurk knows that because I was basically shouting it from the rooftops. I am so happy to get this letter. I'm going to be talking more about this whole process of getting acclimated to nursing school probably in another podcast, because there is a lot of stuff that I have to, like a lot of hoops that I have to jump through, like even after getting this letter. So that will probably be a separate podcast that may or may not have anything to do with knitting. But I am so freaking excited. I got the letter last night and I told, well, Will knew because he opened the letter when it got here before I got home. And then I called my mom and my grandma and Will's family, and then I could post on Facebook and Plurk, so I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to that. I start the actual nursing classes in the middle of August, and I start seeing real patients in January. So I'm so excited, and I'm saving that. I'm going to talk about that in another podcast, which may or may not be recorded immediately after this one. So I'm going to start with finished objects because I am extremely proud of myself because I finished the mystery shawlette. This is the Summer Mystery Shawlette from Wendy Johnson, the Knit Along. It's just in Berna Yarns Softy Baby. So it's acrylic, but it's relatively nice acrylic. It's not, you know, Red Heart or anything like that. Like, it feels a lot softer because it's supposed to be for a baby. I like how it turned out. I will probably make this again in a different yarn. I don't know what yarn, but maybe after my birthday I'll have something that fits with this, because pretty much everything that I have either doesn't have enough yardage for this, or I'm already planning on making something out of it. So I'll get back to you on that. But I love how this turned out. It's super pretty. I finished it last night, right before I found out about nursing school, actually. So yesterday was a very good day. Other finished objects, I wanted to just do a little something so I felt like I accomplished something in the time that I was waiting for the last clue to come out. So this is, I don't remember who designed it. I think it's originally called like a dice bag, which you can use it for. Right now mine just has Lifesavers in it because I have a giant bag of Lifesavers that I've been bringing to the new student orientations because I can trick people into coming to my booth because they want candy. But that's gonna last me all summer and then some. So I have just some on my desk because it fills out the bag a lot nicer than if it didn't have anything in it. But this is out of just some hand spun fiber. The fiber is from Highland Handmaids. It's I forget what the actual name of the base is, but it's 75% BFL, 25% silk in the 18 flavors colorway, and it's got a bunch of pretty whites from this. It's got a nice luster from the silk. It's pinks and greens, and I think a little bit of brown, and I love it. I love how it turned out. And then since I ran out of yarn almost at the end, the bottom is just with some leftover Vanish Choice acrylic and Malabrigo worsted. I only had, I don't know, 30 to 40 yards of it, so I figured I might as well use it now because I'm probably not going to use it for anything else. So that is this tie, and the border, the edging, is in the Malabrigo. And I like the color contrast because they go together, but they're not the same. Not finished works on the needles. I made a ton of progress on the rusted shawl. It's the Gabriel's Wings pattern, and it is in Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Antique Trinket colorway. And I think this is now actually showing more what the color is like than last time, because it's not just rust, it has all these beautiful colors in it. The girls at Madeline Tosh are so stinking talented with the way that they blend colors. It's got golds and pinks and roses and like lilacs and golds, and of course rust. And it's so pretty. I can't get over it. And I am so excited that, I think I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but we are going to be custom dyeing me some yarn for bridesmaid shawls, eventually. Which we may actually be setting a date soon because I know what I'm doing with my life now. But I'm so excited because, I mean, look at what they can do. It's amazing. So I think I'm about halfway done with this now, judging from me weighing my my remaining yarn. So it's a pretty mindless knit. I like bringing it to class with me because it's easy enough to work on. I was actually working on it in the booth while I was talking to people. Like that's how mindless it is. I just cast on this shawl this morning because I wanted to wait to cast on until after I was done with the mystery shawlette, but I was exhausted last night, especially after celebrating. So I cast it on this morning. This is the Sweet Alyssum shawl. It's the name of a flower. I don't know if the pattern is showing very well, but that's, yep, there we go. That's a little flower, and that's the motif throughout the shawl. So it should just be a nice, pretty, light shawl. It's out of Rigo lace in the Emerald Blue colorway, which is really pretty. It's blues and greens and almost purples. I'm really excited to see how this is going to turn out. So that's what I'm working on now. And I have stash enhancement because I was bad. I'm pretty much giving up on the yarn ban for right now because I am going to be participating in the Loopy U's Camp Loopy. I will link to the blog entry about it, like from the Loopy U, but it is their version of summer camp, except you don't have to go anywhere. They'll have 3 different patterns, well, projects. You can do any pattern you want, but it has to like meet certain requirements. I think the first one is it has to be a 2-color scarf shawl wrap. It's something to keep you warm by the campfire, and it has to be 2 colors. And I just ordered my yarn from them. if you have the certain code, I forget what it is, they give you 20% off the yarn that you're going to use for that pattern. They have certain dates that you can knit it between, and then you have to upload a photo of it. And if you do all 3 of the patterns, you get a free fall project. And I'm pretty sure it includes a skein of Woolmiza, and that is reason enough for me to lift the yarn ban. I ordered, I don't even remember what, I'm doing just a striped shawl, and I think I ordered 2 colors, 2 blues of Cascade 220. So it's not a lot of money, but it's enough. Plus, I think that makes me a loopy groupie now. I think it's my 5th. What I was starting to say was, I have stash enhancement. It's also from the Loopy U because I can. It's Madeline Tosh Merino Light because I love this yarn, and it is in the Shoreline colorway. And what's looking like greens in my monitor for some reason are actually tans and browns, and it's supposed to be the water, the clouds slash the white foam on top of the waves as they break, and then the tans and browns of the shoreline. And I love this. I'm planning on using it with the Holden Shawlette, which was inspired by the waves breaking onto the shore, so I think it'll be perfect. I've seen at least one pattern on Ravelry where someone used this yarn in a shawl, and it is so pretty. It works up really nicely. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you're not already planning on doing Loopy Camp, you should, because you get free yarn if you do all 3 of them, and you can pick any pattern that you want as long as it meets the criteria. As long as you finish it in time, you get free yarn. So I'll have that link in the show notes, which will be on the blog because I'm too lazy to figure out how to put it on YouTube. And you should be checking the blog anyway. So that is the extent of my knitting right now. I've ordered other items that haven't come yet because I'm a bad person. I actually ordered some Knit Picks Stroll yarn. I think it was Blue Yonder. No, not Blue Yonder. Deep Waters for the Haruni shawl, which I'm looking forward to knitting. I was getting cables from them anyway, and so I figured that I would get the yarn because I wanted to do that pattern, but I didn't want to get more than one skein of, say, Madeline Tosh, because apparently other people who have done the pattern have had to use, you know, maybe 10 to 20 yards of a second skein, and then you have... Not that I wouldn't be able to figure out what to do with that remaining yardage, but I prefer to just get them one at a time, so then I feel less impact as far as monetary impact. But I'm looking forward to that. I always love getting stuff in the mail, and now that I'm not waiting anxiously for the mail, it's a lot more fun. So that is pretty much it. I will be doing another podcast, possibly, I'll probably do it later this weekend, about the nursing school process and getting in and what I now have to do before I can start, because I'm sure that there's people who are interested in that, because it feels like there's not a lot of people that really talk about what you have to, like the kind of hoops that you have to jump through to get into nursing school, or at least this nursing school. So I'm going to put that out there for anyone who is interested, and thanks for watching. If you are a returning viewer, thanks for sticking around this long. If you're new, I'm glad that you stayed through my rambling. So hopefully your weekend is as sunny and great as ours is going to be. Bye!